Hey, how's it going, Facebook? This is Charlie King with Heroic Fatherhood. This is week 4. We're in week 4 of the 90 Days Be My Boss Challenge, where I take on a new topic every week that is as recommended by you for the Be My Boss Challenge. And I cover that topic. I do both a podcast and we do this video, we do the live video, and then Jeff Crawford and I do a podcast about it, and I write a blog article about it. There's just lots of stuff coming out. Woo! And this week I wanted to talk a little bit about chronic pain. And I have to tell you, I was just having this conversation before I came on. Well, first of all, massive disclaimer, I have the man flu. So anybody who's ever dealt with man flu, give me a thumbs up. Man flu is a thing. So if you're a woman and you're watching this, what a man flu is, it's basically a head cold. Something you go, I have the sniffles, but it doesn't stop me doing anything during the day. As a man, we get that and we call it the man flu, where all we want is someone to rub our back, tell us everything's going to be okay, and let us watch, The Hunt for Red October over and over again at home. So I am currently, I have the man flu. But I've rallied and I will not succumb to the man flu. But I want to share with you that this was an odd thing. It was not what I was expecting to deal with when it came up with how to deal with chronic pain. When I put up my 90-day challenge, someone said, "Hey, how do I deal with chronic pain?" And I'm of two minds about this, and I'm totally conflicted about it. I think pain has a lot to do with the stories that we tell about pain that we have. We have pain that comes and goes. We have pain that is specific to injuries or exercise or things like that. And there's a thing called chronic pain. And there are people who live with chronic pain in diseases that you cannot see on the surface. And these are diseases like ALS and fibromyalgia and arthritis that can come on as early as your 20s and 30s. Some people live with that. And there are lots of diseases that have chronic pain. And if you are somebody who goes from being, having a bandwidth that's, 2 lanes wide and, you're capable of producing X amount in a given period of time, and you suddenly are shifted and are having to address the fact that you're dealing with pain that you never had to deal with before. Very often we still try and push our entire world in those 2 lanes of what we think our capacity is. And not only is it unrealistic, but it dramatically impacts our capacity to not only produce the results, but our experience as well. So I don't know what I meant by that, other than to say is it's going to be a train wreck. If you have your bandwidth includes, a 2-lane wide road, and but because of pain that you're dealing with, it's been narrowed because half your bandwidth is taken up with the fact that you're in pain all the time. And you still try and get everything done. That's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for the car wreck on your 2-lane road. It's a recipe for you taking it out on yourself, taking it out on your spouse, taking it out on your kids. And part of it is really just being aware, if you're dealing with anything from man flu to truly pain and chronic pain, is realigning expectations and not trying to be the superhero. Like, how often is it as dads that we're dealing with trying to be the superhero, trying to do it all for our kids, for our spouses, and for ourselves? And we can't always do that. And when we do, there's a couple of impacts of that. First of all, is that we set up these expectations for ourselves that if we fall short of superhero, it becomes this story we tell ourselves about, oh, I would have done that, but I just can't. And that just means that I am a failure as a parent, and I'll never be that parent I've always wanted to be, and this, that, and the other thing, because we have this expectation that we are capable of more than is healthy for us. Not only that, but the impact on our kids is dramatic too, because we end up setting them up with expectations of that they are going to be responsible for being as capable as well. that they're going to be responsible for creating that kind of results, creating that kind of impact, and like go, go, go all the time. And they will be teaching themselves a lack of compassion from somebody who provides, like, just to own it up. I'm one of those people that, you know, if in doubt, there won't be as much compassion for me. That's just what's so. And if there's anybody who's going to beat themselves up, yeah, it's going to be me. I beat myself up more than most people. So we end up beating ourselves up. And what we're teaching our kids is you have to be capable. You have to be able to do everything all the time, or you won't be measuring up. And we don't even have to say it. But if we lead with that as the way we are, that's the lesson they're learning. So part of it is like, what's the story you tell about what you're capable of? What's your story about dealing with pain or illness or injury, right? Is lowering the bar of expectations for yourself, lowering the bar of expectations for the people around you. And just going, hey, you know what? I thought I was going to be capable of this. I am not capable of this. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to, it's like, I know I promised we were going to be able to do this, but you know what? I just can't. I just can't. I don't have the bandwidth. And for some people, this is physical pain. Some people, this is emotional pain. There are people that live with emotional issues that limit what they're capable of, and just be like, you know what? Today was just too much. And I've really in this past year, I've really worked on my willingness to go and talk to my kids and talk to my wife and just go, you know, you guys, I had a big day. It was a really emotional day. These are the things I'm dealing with right now. And just so you guys know, it's just been a heck of a long day for me. And I'll probably be going to bed early or taking more care of myself tonight. And that is brand new. And that is not something that was in the playbook I was taught. In the playbook I was taught, you lined up, in my good New England Puritan upbringing, you lined up, you showed up, and you did exactly what you were told. That sort of leads me back to why I think taking care of yourself is so important. Self-care is so critically important. When I was growing up, my dad had foot problems. He got a foot injury while he was in the military back in the 40s. And he lived with pain, and it limited his ability to walk. So he could literally walk only about 100 yards at a time before it caused really debilitating pain. And, so as a kid growing up, as a boy, and it was me and my brother, we had a limited capability of stuff we could do out of the house with my dad because, he could drive places, but he couldn't walk places. He couldn't run. He couldn't, he didn't really throw a football around with us, so he, because of his physical capacity, was unable to spend that kind of time with us. And it had a real impact. So for me, what it's done is it's really raised the bar on how important it is for me to maintain my health. And so I can be there and participate fully with my kids. And, and this includes eating healthy, exercising, getting rest, managing things that are going on. Because here's the thing about pain. Pain is not normal. Pain is not normal. A chiropractor came to me, and she's one of my favorite people. And she came to me and she goes, look, pain is not normal. It is your body telling you that something is wrong. And if you have pain, you need to address it. And that our Western medicine ways of dealing with pain, which is pain medication, does not fix pain. It just masks it so you don't notice it anymore. It does not mean that the pain is gone, nor does it mean that the condition underlying it has been fixed. As a matter of fact, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means you don't feel the pain anymore. And I really want to, I'm a massive fan of alternative medicine. If you are, give me a thumbs up. Western medicine has this amazing capacity when it comes to traumatic care and dealing with things that are medicinally based, like antibiotics and things like that. But for almost everything else, in my opinion, Eastern and far more traditional ways of care are far more effective, everything from acupuncture to naturopathic to chiropractic. And if you are dealing with pain, if you are living with pain, it's incredibly important that you get to own you get to be responsible for your health care. Your doctor is not responsible for your health care. You are responsible for it. And if your doctor cannot provide you something that is going to resolve the pain that you're in, it's time to go somewhere else. Go somewhere else to find somebody who can find a solution for your problem. If you go to your GP for a foot problem and they send you to a podiatrist who gives you all kinds of answers you don't like, go find somebody who does acupressure. So go find somebody who does Reiki. Go find somebody who does chiropractic. Go find somebody who does, acupuncture. Like maybe it's herbal medicines. There are hundreds of different potential solutions for lots of different pain-oriented issues. Living with chronic pain has this massive impact, and the impact is never good. It dramatically decreases your bandwidth of what you're capable of doing, and it takes you out of your own life, and it takes you out of the life of your spouse and your kids. So it's really important that you manage the pain. And while you're managing, like how you manage the pain is figuring out if there's anything that you can do to heal yourself so that you're not living with pain. And while you're living with pain, or if it's not something that you can manage around, is make sure you get yourself supported and you're managing expectations of others and of yourself. It's like, look, if I'm living with pain right now, how can I manage it? How can I manage it so that it's not taking up my whole world? Oh, well, that probably means that I can't work an 8-hour day. I can work a 6-hour day. Or that I need to have a support group that I reach out to. Or that I take breaks in the middle of the day and get rest. Like, what's that thing that I need? And managing our own expectations and managing the expectations of others. Hey, you know what? I know we plan to go do these things 2 nights in a row or 3 nights in a row, or that we plan to go and do this thing. But, that's going to be too much for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, bow out. Maybe you could go and do that with the kids, or maybe the kids could go with somebody else. But being really intentional and giving yourself some compassion about where you're at, that's really the big deal. If you can give yourself some compassion, it opens up all kinds of doors about what's possible and what's available as ways to support yourself. This is a huge topic, and I'm super excited that we got a chance to address just the tips of it. If you have other specific stuff that I reached into that you'd like me to talk about later during the 90-day challenge, I want you to let me know. Again, we are just in week 4 of a 12 weeks of 90 Days Be My Boss Challenge, and I look forward to hearing what your comments are. And post down below if you want to put up a topic that you'd like to see me address in upcoming weeks. And I look forward to seeing you. Oh, by the way, the Hero's Guide to Fatherhood is over at www.heroicfatherhood.com. Go ahead and download your free Hero's Guide to Fatherhood. And I will look forward to seeing you here. And I will look forward to seeing you over on Heroic Fatherhood, the Facebook page, which is at facebook.com/Heroic Fatherhood. So come on over. There's more content over there. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Ooh, that was uncomfortable and felt like hell, frankly.
It came through as uncomfortable,
It did?
but honest, because you're conflicted.
Yeah.
You're of 2 minds about a subject.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of owning both sides, because there's not an answer for something like this.
Yeah.
Because depending on what the underlying issue is,
right.
I had an employee who had fibromyalgia, and I used to get calls from her on a fairly regular basis saying, I can't work today. You know, and it was on my day off, which was Sunday, which was the one day I had with my family. And it's like, well, fuck. You know, okay, you can't work. I get that. I will take that off your plate. You've got enough to worry about. It's an inconvenience for me. It's an inconvenience for my family. But I don't have to. You already know what an inconvenience it is,
right?
By living it,
right?
I don't need to go martyr on you,
right?
You know, and there were some days where it's just like, dude, I'm not in the state,
right?
We're just going to be closed today,
right?
And we're going to be fine with that because there's no, you know, I can't get a hold of the other part-timer,
right?
You know, it is what it is. You take care of you.
Right.
You know, I also knew the kind of person she was, that it was not, you know, hey, I'm on my way to Stevens Pass.
Right.
You know, she said it was a no-go. It was a no-go.
Right.
And it's like, you know, yeah, it's my name on the door. So guess who loses their day off?
Yeah.
Which is inconvenient.
Right.
But the flip side is I don't have to put up with, when I wake up, am I going to be able to function as a human being?
Right.
And there's, you know, and after, you know, I didn't know anything about it. And after, you know, research and stuff, there's no test, there's no treatment. It's like MS used to be.
Right.
You know, barring everything else, it's got to be this.
Right.
But that doesn't help you at all if you're going through it. You know, you've got a label for it, but